Hey everybody, Billy Watkins here with the Whole Package by Premier Packaging. Coming to you from the International Sales Meeting here in beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio.
Beautiful.
I think I can say all this stuff. Stop me if I can't. The Queen City. We were talking about that earlier. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, the Queen City.
Why?
Let me introduce you first because I'm getting ahead of my skis here. Luke Smith.
Yeah. Luke Smith.
Luke Smith. Easy
Rolls
name.
off the tongue.
Does. Simple. Strong name. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
From Utah. So Salt Lake, a little north of Salt Lake. So right between that and the Idaho border. So up in the mountains, a lot of snow, a lot of terrain.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous
Yeah.
country. You said before if you don't like the outdoors, you should move.
You should move because there's nothing else to do.
Did you fly in today?
Yeah.
When you when you left, was it there a ton of snow? What's
Snowing.
going on?
Snowing in Utah when I left.
Oh, it was actually snowing.
It was actually snowing.
How many? Is there feet on the ground or what?
We've had a lot of rain, so it's kind of melted the snow down, but we've had quite a bit this year. It's been later in the season, but yeah, we've been getting a lot of snow.
What do you do out there in the great outdoors?
Oh boy, you got to ski, you got to mountain bike, hike around, just be outside.
Do you when you're mountain biking? Are you one of those guys that do you have a little GoPro on your mountain bike?
Oh no, I'm not.
You don't do that. What is the point?
I don't
want to
catch
would you even...
what I'm doing.
Okay.
I gotta wait till people are off the mountain and then I go up.
You don't want to. Yeah, and skiing.
Yeah.
Exhilarating. Always a good time. Have you been doing that since you were
A little kid. Yeah,
a little
I've been skiing
kid
since I was probably 4 or 5 years old. So, like I said, that's all you can do. Parents are out there in the winter; they got to put you up on the slopes.
Can you do anything crazy? I mean, are we talking tricks? Are we? No.
I
Snowboard.
can get up the mountain on a lift and then back down with my skis.
The scariest thing to me is the lift. Really.
Oh yeah,
Getting on and off, and if you if you don't hurt yourself, you might end up looking like an absolute nit, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because you could fall.
Well, it's just you have so much anxiety because there's nothing holding you to the lift, right? It's just like 30 feet below.
Yeah.
And then you get to the top and you have this little panic attack if it's going to slow down enough for you to actually get off.
Yeah.
And you've got all these people staring, so yeah, you better dismount.
I mean, I have a hard enough time boarding a plane, and I can't imagine. What do you do for Premier?
Title is a supply chain specialist, so really the face of Premier in our territory, which mine being Utah, Idaho. So just trying to put on a good face.
And you've been here a little over 2 years, right?
Coming up on 2 years.
Oh, coming up on 2 years.
Coming up on 2 years.
Okay. What'd you do before?
Big pivot. So I went from fitness equipment manufacturing. So I was a sales rep for a big fitness treadmill, elliptical bike manufacturer that's up north in Utah, and made the pivot to packaging. Natural next step, right?
A big pivot. But so manufacture. I didn't know that kind of thing was going on out there in Utah.
Yeah,
manufacturing fitness equipment.
Steal all the metal.
Do you? So you've been doing this for a little bit now. What have you clued in on being some of the keys to being a successful salesperson?
Yeah,
I'm assuming you're a successful salesperson.
I'm hoping. I want them to keep me around.
For sure.
So you really have to be pretty optimistic in sales. We live in this industry, and I think it translates to any industry, but as long as you can be optimistic that there are more opportunities out there, you're going to strike out a lot. You're going to have a lot of doors shut in your face, but there is plenty of opportunities out there, and to get back up on the horse, the good thing about Premier is once we get in the door, we are highly successful. It's really getting past that threshold, and we're able to cultivate some really cool relationships. But getting there, that can be hard.
Yeah. And that's kind of the hard part now, right?
Yeah.
You get to find the right person in an organization, the decision makers, and you've got people barring your way in, basically. I mean,
Oh yeah, you've got assistants. You have the front desk. You're not going to get into the building without a meeting. So you have to get creative on how you're going to connect with the right people, and then at that point, you got to make sure once you get in that they're even a right fit for Premier, so that it's a good relationship on both ends.
You don't want to. Yeah, you're not selling snake oil here. I mean, you actually want it to be a
they might think
good
that.
fit for
they don't
everyone.
let us through the door.
I think we sold snake oil for a while
maybe.
back in the mid 2000s. No. Donuts. Do you ever bring donuts? I always enjoyed when people bring me donuts.
Yeah, I don't know if all the donuts make it to the customer, but yeah, that's the goal. Is you bring in a donut and a business card and try and get past the gatekeeper. Maybe you give the gatekeeper one, see if she'll let you pass the door.
What's the best thing about working in sales?
Oh,
I think some of the
flexibility.
Yeah.
I think you get to pick who you're working with. I think that's a big thing. Is you get to work with the people that you want to engage with, and you're not necessarily forced to work with customers that might not be a good fit, and there's friction there. So there's a lot of freedom there. You do get to set your own schedule, so get to be around the family and be there when I need to be there. And when I'm at work, I can put my full effort, and I know that as much effort I put into it is what I'm going to get out on the back end. Right.
Right, you're your own kind of master in that sense. That the sky's the limit, right?
Exactly.
You put the hard work in, and you can reap the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
How long? When did you know you wanted to do this? How long?
Sales in general?
Yeah.
Oh, it was probably early on when I was in the fitness industry that I realized that I enjoyed having communication directly with customers and building relationships. And there's really not a whole lot of points within an industry or a business that directly have that communication. There's so much back end work in the office and people running Excel sheets, and I'd rather be talking to people and being out and about.
You don't like pivot tables that much, hidden equations. What's the most challenging thing about being in sales? Obviously you get there's rejection, right? How do you deal with that?
Rejection is easier when you are a true, and I use this term lightly, a true missionary for the brand, right? If you truly believe on what we're doing and that we're affecting our customers in a very positive way, that rejection, it's not as hard, because I don't feel like I needed that, right? Somebody needs what we're selling and our value prop. And so it's really just finding that right person. But yeah, our process takes a lot longer than probably the majority of other packaging manufacturers and distributors, because we're taking this full approach into their packaging and not necessarily honing in on a specific material that we need to sell. Yeah. And so we can go in very neutral really into any business and see what their pain points are, see what's really causing their day-to-day to be bogged down or slow, and then we can then hone in on that. And so again, we can be, myself included, be very neutral and bring in the back-end experts when we find out what it is that they specifically need.
Right. You kind of have to, you got to learn about what they're doing and what their needs are.
Exactly.
And all about being a partner as opposed to just a guy selling, hey, I got a truckload of boxes. Here.
Right. Exactly.
Right. What do you see out there right now that our customers are looking for or asking for or pushing us to provide?
Oh, they're looking for that relationship. The customers that I'm dealing with, I think that Premier's getting deeper into relationships than we have in the past, because we do go about business so differently. And where companies in the past have balanced, multiple different vendors or distributors, manufacturers, whatever it is, they're starting to weed out those that aren't adding value to their operation. And so we are able to, deepen our relationships and push forward, because we can constantly bring new initiatives, new opportunities to their business that affect their bottom line.
So this year, what do you feel like the outlook is for sales for you, for us, for Premier?
Well, the Heartland territory is where I am, so that goes from Texas to Kansas City, Denver, Salt Lake, Arizona. It's a big chunk. The Heartland, right?
Yeah,
it's like
right.
a lot of America. Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of growth. We haven't been out here. I mean, the majority of our business has been East Coast and back towards headquarters. So we're still pushing the Premier name. We're pretty new in the area, so it allows us to constantly, add that value. We're not going up against any preconceived notions about who Premier is. Yeah. We're blank slate.
You are introducing us
exactly
to all these folks.
So there's a lot of growth ahead, especially in our division. And I think Premier is positioned. We've spent the last 18 months positioning ourselves in a really good spot.
Very nice. And you consider yourself we've talked a lot about this with other sales folks. I mean, do you consider yourself a competitive person?
Oh yeah, extremely. I grew up in athletics. Yeah. I've got brothers close in age, so there's always that who's better, who's faster, who's stronger. So there's always that little competitive edge.
What is it about athletics that kind of positions folks nicely for the sales world? Is it just the competitiveness, or is it crap? My knee's gone bad, and I gotta do something.
You gotta leave athletics, right? Not gonna go pro. No, I think it's that you spend all of this time in sports, even from a young age, of trying to develop and cultivate skills, right? And it translates over to sales because, again, I'm as much as I want to put in, I could work 18-hour days if I wanted to. And guess what? That's going to benefit me more so than putting in lower hours. So same thing with athletics. I think it sets you up in a nice spot where you know that the amount of effort you put in is what you can expect on the back end.
So Luke, do you still have an elliptical or a bike or a treadmill in the home? Are you that kind
Not in the home. No. I
go out for that.
Yeah, we try to at least. We got little kids, so we're outside. We want to.
Oh, how old? If you don't mind, if I can ask,
you got boys.
You got 3 kids.
3 boys. Yeah.
Wow.
I have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and then baby just turned 1. So 3 boys.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's a house full of testosterone just waiting to blow up.
It blows up regularly.
How do you but that's got to be. Are they all into or any of is the 6-year-old skiing yet or anything like that?
He's starting to get some interest in doing those sort of things. So skiing. We'll get him out. This will be a year of growth for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, hell, I wish I enjoyed doing this here in this undisclosed location that we're in, this extremely bright, hot, undisclosed location. So thanks for but I would have much rather done this out in Utah. We could have had some mountains in the background or something like that. Just remember that for next time.
Talk to some people, and
I think we need to set that up. I think we need to set that up. I appreciate your time, Luke.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Congratulations on all of the success and continued success to come, I hope.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, I'm Billy Watkins, and this has been The Whole Package by Premier Packaging. Until next time, see you later.
Do you have comments, questions, or ideas about this topic? If so, we'd like to hear from you. Please visit primpack.com/podcast to let us know what you think. Thanks.